So we're joined with Ayan today. Ayan has worked with us for about 10 months, right? But
Yeah.
I wanted to showcase his progress so far, and I want to go over exactly what he's done so far to achieve that progress. But Ayan, why don't you tell a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So I recently just got into e-commerce. Started learning a little bit, watching YouTube videos, kind of picking up on it, understanding, how drop shipping works as a whole. I'd say like a couple months in, I ran across Vivin and his team and everything like that. And basically we were going over how to scale at a much higher rate, and also like understanding what are the most selling points, what are like, finding a good product. Once you find a good product, finding good hooks and creatives and things like that to be able to, engage the audience and also make those sales come in. My goal was, I would say, like $1,000 a day. At first, it wasn't at, $1,000 a day. I was looking just for a couple sales, but Vivin was able to crack that code right in within, I think, 3 months of doing the mentorship. So I really appreciate Vivin for, all that work. I really appreciate you so much. And then 6 months in, I think we were hitting like $1,000 days, or even sooner. I think it was like a couple months in sooner. After that, like even today, we just hit, like this weekend, we hit like 10,000 in revenue in just 3 days. That was insane. I looked at that. But yeah, I mean, overall, I didn't really have experience, and then Vivin was able to guide me, push me through, and also, have a layout and a game plan, also being organized and things like that, and was able to make it work. But yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the kind words. But
Yeah, for sure.
before you got into it, before you started working with Team and I, what were you doing before that? Were you trying something yourself? What were you trying for the first, let's say, few weeks before we met?
Yeah, I think I was trying out a product that wasn't really doing well. But I think it was more because I didn't do my research, like product research, right? Because the product research was big, like understanding how many sales that product was being sold elsewhere with all the other competitors. Also learning branding, learning all those things that all play a part of a product, and be able to, brand it so that way it could like basically perform better. No, I was just saying, but yeah, I didn't really have a product yet, and then that's kind of reason why I decided to pursue you and your mentorship, because finding a winning product and be able to expand on that was really big.
Today, so far alone, we're just about to hit $3,000 in revenue, and
Yeah.
I think we'll hit it. We have about 6 minutes left. Probably we have someone, we don't know, checking out yet, but we did about 2.9K today so far with 68 orders. I'm going to go over the analytics, go over the last 1 year or so, just about the last 11 months, 10 months that we've been working together, and this is the revenue we've generated so far. It's $326,000. Let's walk over month by month what we were doing, and quickly go over, how the progress started. Because obviously, when you're first starting off, you don't really know what you're doing. You're trying to learn the ropes, and then eventually you hit that winning product. So the first month, we did about 2.9K in revenue for the entire month of January. And funny enough, we did that today itself. But what did we do for the first product test? Can you walk everyone through what were you thinking about when you go into the first product test? Was there doubt in on your mind, or what were you thinking when we were testing the first product out?
With the first product, it was more of understanding how dropshipping worked, or how it even worked, to be able to acquiring that first sale, but also having like everything that you need in place, whether it's, throughout the whole mentorship, right? I would say like what I was thinking was saying, this is the only sales I'm getting, like this is all it's going to be. Reality was just the beginning the whole time.
Sure enough, in February is when we found the current winning product that we have, and then this is when we were able to really scale up. So by the end of February, we were actually starting to scale up even more, and then mid-February we did a $700 a day, and then we bumped it up to $1,000 per day. So just in 2 months, we were moving so quickly that we were able to go through those losing products and then eventually hit that winning product, which was just the second month in. We hit our first $1,000 a day, and then eventually we hit consistent $1,000 days, and we went from $8,000 in February to now in March, which was our third month working together, we did $32,000 in a single month, right? So we bumped it up from $8,000 now $32,000 And we also hit some big numbers during this time as well. We hit $2,000 days. We were doing consistent $1,000 to $2,000 days every day.
Yeah.
But over here, we're trying to figure out the angle, right? If you remember, we're trying to figure out what angle is working the best for us, what is not working the best for us. And then we started trying TikTok ads out as well, which we completely ruled out that, we saw Facebook ads was working a lot better. So we stuck on to Facebook ads, right? That was March. And then April, jumpstart a little bit more. April to June, we did about $135,000. Insane. Absolutely insane. And the most impressive part about this was the conversion rate we were sitting at. The conversion rate was not at 2.9%, it's actually a lot higher than that. It's only tracking 2,400 sales that we got. We actually got way more sales than that. We actually got 3,200 sales, as you can see over here. So we got 3,200 sales, and actually only tracking 2,400. So the conversion rate was a lot higher than what is reported here. And we were operating at about a 4% conversion rate, which was just nuts for the business. And this was the first second quarter of the business, right? From there on out, July, August, September, we were still trying to figure out the angles that are working and double down on that angle. We did $111,000 still in the third quarter, and now we're in the fourth quarter. We're just entering the fourth quarter, and just in the last 35 days, we have done $6,000. But in the last 3 days alone, we've done $10,000. Right? Insane. Let's go through. What were you thinking before you joined the mentorship? Because obviously people have doubts in their mind. People don't know whether it's going to work or not. People have bought previous courses, random mentorships before. What do you think was different about us? What do you think that led you to us working together?
Man, before I thought it was a scam. I thought it was just some regular course again that I seen. I was like, this course is not gonna work, and then I started seeing more proof and kind of like understanding your concept and understanding your mentorship, and also more of like connecting with me every day and also talking to me, and getting on meetings weekly and kind of like going over stuff, and I was like, oh, this is actually working, and the sales were coming in, and I was like, wow, this is really nice. So I kept pursuing it, and then throughout 3 months, 6 months, 9 months now, it's been growing like crazy, and the brand's growing, everything. And I've learned so much about ads. I've learned so much about e-commerce, branding, e-commerce. I've learned so much about all of it. And then on top of that, it's something new that I'm kind of breaking into my, I would say, generation wealth, like generation as in my family and everything. So it's like more new knowledge that we don't know, but it's also something that it will stand out for us now or be able to pursue further for my whole family.
Absolutely insane. What do you think you did different compared to most people who are starting off e-commerce today? What are they doing wrong, and what are you doing right? Obviously, besides the mentorship, besides you getting the right guidance, because that obviously will propel you a lot further. But what do you think work ethic wise and just execution wise, what did you do different compared to the average person?
I think before, I'd say in the beginning, I was actually like driven. I was actually really focused and dedicated and executing on time every single step of the way until about 6 months, and then I started having more stuff going on in life, and then that's when I kind of stepped away. But honestly, when you do focus and lock in, right, it's gonna grow. It's gonna always work. You know what I mean? But I think what I did differently was in the beginning, I just owned it. I kind of basically took the knowledge and learned, and then also applied it and executed it like every day. Like as you tell me, execution is big,
100%, man. That's the most important part, because everyone has ideas. Everyone wants to start something. And this is where I tell everyone that you're never going to find the perfect time to start. You're never going to wake up one day feeling, oh, today I'll start e-commerce, right? You sort of just get into it and then you figure it out as you go, right? So that's one of the things people getting into e-commerce are afraid of, is what if I can't allocate enough time, or what if I can't allocate enough money? I don't know what to do next. And that's why getting the right guidance is so important in the start, because that helps you plan out the entire process the right way. Because in the first few months, you're going to make mistakes. It's bound to happen. You cannot avoid making mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen, and that's going to take time for you to actually understand. But when you actually go through those mistakes, you understand, okay, what worked, what didn't work, and you execute accordingly depending on your product that you're running.
Yeah.
But closing off, what would you say to people who are hesitant to start working with myself and my team? Obviously, since you've gone through the entire program, since we worked together for the last 10 months, what would you say to those people who are kind of on the edge? They don't know if they want to take that plunge or not. They see all these random courses online. What would you say to those people?
I would say take a risk in life. You have to take a risk, and with it being, once you take a risk, you want to make sure you're getting into a risk that's kind of backed up based off of information, right? So like based off of proof, data, data is very big, and just understanding like if you feel like it's gonna be or work out, and that you guys are in a community, like on a mutual understanding together to get things done and work in business and do business together, it would work, but you got to execute, and you have to also take the risk, take that jump for it, because you're not going to learn anything if you don't take a risk. Sometimes you got to take a risk, and you might take a loss, you might gain, but you don't know like until you take that risk and execute on it.
That's the most important part, because without risk you can't start. And then you have to have that drive, you have to have that perseverance mindset for like, fuck it, I'll make it work no matter what, right? But that was pretty much all I want to cover. I went over exactly what your thoughts were before, what your thoughts were while we were in the program, while we were starting off, because there's obviously that sense of doubt that everyone goes through at the start. But if you actually stick to it long enough, you eventually reap the rewards of hitting that winning product, because you only need one product. Throughout the course of us working together, we've only scaled one product so far. Imagine us 2 years in. This is just the first 8 months of the store properly running. Imagine 2 years in, imagine 3 years in. Because like I said, the growth compounds as you go. You really start seeing the progress of what you have put in, the work you've put in over the last 1-2 years. You see that progress 1-2 years down the line. You don't see it right away, because when you're building your dream body, it feels like shit. You're going to the gym every day, you're training, you're working out, you're doing all the right type of nutrition, but you still don't see results. But eventually, fast forward 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, you start seeing that dream body, because that is what most people cannot do, right? Most people cannot wait that long to see results. Most people cannot wait that long, to see any type of result. But the people who do wait that long do see that results. But that was pretty much all I want to go over. And obviously for the people watching, they know exactly where, if they ever want to talk to you directly, they can also do that.